Well, I'm here in Portugal with Mark Shreeve, and he's very kindly invited us over for a little bit of fishing, but mainly to have a look at his boat. It's a Portuguese company called Levant. This is the 700 Sport Fishing.
Yep.
This is an absolutely fantastic boat. We were out yesterday and had some great fun in it, and believe me, it's very, very, very quick. Now then, the guy that builds these, Francesco.
Yes.
He's, so you tell me, one of only 3 qualified naval architects
Left in Portugal.
left in Portugal, and he's designed this hull from scratch.
It was his baby, his creation, his idea, his setup.
Yeah, I've got to say,
very keen fisherman.
yes, that's another thing as well. I'm very impressed with the way it handled. I mean, we had all sorts of conditions yesterday. We had following seas, we had beam on swells like you've never seen before, and she's extremely stable. So why did you go for one of these? I mean, I look around the marina, you've got Rodmans, you've got Quicksilvers, you've got loads of sort of big name brands, if you like. What made you choose this one in particular?
I was actually looking for another boat. I don't know whether I can say the name of it or not.
Of course you can.
I was looking at a Trophy 25.
Right.
And I was almost like that to sign up the deal.
Right.
We came down here for a time, and I was walking down. Sorry, I need the gate. So can you open the gate, please, Jamie? Thanks. And I was walking down the harbour, Christmas 2 years ago.
Right.
And I saw the Levant 700 at the top,
Yeah.
open space and cabin on the front, because my wife and sister have a cabin on the boat.
Okay, yeah, because a lot of the boats down here, because it's Portugal and it's usually baking hot. Not today.
You just need something like a sun shield.
Yeah, you just need a. Like
And it was actually 31st of December,
right.
and I saw Levant.pt on the side of his boat,
Yeah.
and I thought, oh, so I went into my study down here and I put it in on the internet. I couldn't believe my study, I was actually overlooking their factory.
That's pretty handy.
So I literally went down.
Right.
31st December, the door was open about 6 inches. I went in, and this man came out, started talking at me in a language I couldn't understand.
Yeah.
I said, do you speak English or French? And he said, yes, I speak English. And I said, well, I've seen your boat in the harbour, could you tell me something about it? We're going fishing at 2 o'clock, do you want to come with us?
Brilliant.
And that was it. We went out, we went through, as you went through the bar yesterday,
Yeah.
it was similar conditions.
Right.
Because you're going down from about 10 metres to 2 metres,
Yeah,
and then building down.
it
So
lumps
you've
right.
got the funnel coming in.
Yeah.
I was really, really impressed with the way it handled.
Yeah, I was. I've got to
It
be
was
honest.
probably the most stable boat I've been on for the size it is.
Yeah, and there's a lot of deck space here.
Exactly, and we were talking about it, and he was saying, well, no, if you want that, we can do that, we can do this, we could. Then it dawned on me, it's
Yeah.
tailor-made.
That's the thing. That's one thing I've got to
individual-
tell you is that all of these boats are custom built. I mean, we'll run through some of the features and stuff in a minute once we've finished having this little chat. But this is number 39, isn't it?
39,
Of the
700, yes.
that they've built. So I mean, they've built a few boats, but every single one of these can be custom made. You can have live wells, you can have lockers on the side here. We'll show you that on the other boat up there.
You can have rod holders on the side, you can have the
all
juice of
sorts
the
of
rods.
bits.
I've chosen to have the storage. It's my boat.
Yeah.
It's how
You have
I
it
want
built
it.
how you want.
I've had the doors put in for the closed cabin because that becomes my fishing tackle store.
Yeah.
I'm not bothered about the bling that you get with a lot of the other boats.
No.
I wanted functionality.
Yeah.
I've got the cool box, which is run. They put a 12-volt plug in for the cool box.
Brilliant.
I wanted to charge the iPhone, so Fonseca, who deals with Garmin,
Yeah.
he's put me in the full Garmin sound system,
Brilliant.
complete with the USB charger.
You don't need anything else, really, do you?
At the same time,
You've got a cool box and music.
yeah, exactly. And all through the sat nav,
Yeah.
fish finder, the lot.
Brilliant.
For the sunshine, I said I need some form of protection canopy, and so they built this.
Yeah.
It's extendable. It might not look the most prettiest
Just
thing, but
pulls
it comes out 1.2 metres. But
Fantastic.
being European and not used to the heat and the sun down here, it gives you the protection that you want.
Yeah.
And aim is to in the summer go out and get after some of the bigger fish.
Yep.
And so it's graded to 25 miles.
Brilliant.
And obviously we've got the life raft on top, we've got all the life belts and everything. We've actually 2 life belts on,
Yeah.
because for some reason in Portugal they insist on having the hard ones.
Yeah. The ones that knock you out when you throw them in the water. So you do actually drown.
The safer of the 2 is on the front.
Yeah. Excellent stuff. Okay, so we'll have a look around the boat in a minute. One thing that struck me about this, I mean, we haven't got prices yet, but we'll find those out and stick them up on the screen for you in a minute with a bit more information. But from what I can gather, these boats are really, really competitively priced compared to other boats in their class.
Very much so, especially when you're looking at the pound to the euro at the
Yeah.
moment. They are 15% cheaper if I bought it now than when I bought it.
Really?
Yeah, just because of the change of the pound to the
Yeah.
euro.
And the build quality is absolutely superb.
Can't fault it.
No.
I'm really, really happy with it.
Yeah. Well, we're going to show you this baby in action in a little while. He's got twin 150 yams on the back, and yesterday we hit
48.5
knots, and there's still a little bit left in here as well. So let's have a look at some of the features. Right, so on the deck here, I mean, we've got a lot of space, even with the big cabin. Down here you've got your fuel tanks. This is quite an interesting feature, I like this. Little hatch here. You've got a live well, there's a pump in there. You can just get yourself a little net, just keep your live baits out, and for over here, the sort of fishing you're doing, you've got tuna, you've got white marlin, you've got all sorts of
You're going down to the
species.
Covena as well, but again, you've got all the Italian, Portuguese names at the moment, which I'm not too familiar with.
Right.
All sorts of fish I've never seen before.
There's some crazy fish here. We went to the fish market yesterday, and some of the fish in there, absolutely colossal. Things that I've never seen before.
The 3 kilo Sargo I showed you, which is, I still don't know what it's called.
Yeah. So if
part of the bream family.
We'll lift this up.
Unfortunately, this at the moment is full of all sorts.
Yeah, full of fishing
because
gear.
This also becomes the sort. And one of the decisions I've made to change the boat slightly, I'm actually going to split this well.
Yeah.
So I've got dry storage one side and wet storage the other side.
That's a brilliant idea.
So if I come back here, so my fishing boxes can come across.
Yeah.
It still gives me 2 thirds.
Yeah, there's a lot of room in there.
Easy. I've got everything.
You can easily get 20 mackerel in there.
Oh, and the rest.
Yeah.
You got the pump for in out, and you got the water inlet. But this is mainly what they use for the food storage.
Yeah.
Because the fish come in and they keep them live.
Yeah.
The live bait well should be behind that seat.
Right.
But my wife doesn't like me fishing with live bait, so one of the things
you've got to hide it. Nice one. Okay, so one of the things in the UK which is obviously quite important is having a boat coded if you want to run it as a bass boat or anything like that. There's an awful lot of freeboard here. I mean, I'm 6'6" nearly, and that's the top of my thigh. So, I mean, that's a good start for 10. So you're probably going to have 6 inches of rails on there to get it coded.
It's a private boat, I don't want to code
I know
it,
you
so
don't.
exactly,
Just for the guys out there that are interested.
is coded.
Yeah.
And he does have a 700.
Right.
And that's no trouble to get through.
Fantastic.
As you say.
These are quite handy for storing bits and bobs in.
Personal choice again, because you've got a massive open space here.
Yeah.
You can get a box seat that comes down and moves down for extra storage.
Right.
Pins on. You can have bench seats that come down.
Yeah.
Rod holders. You can have the rod that goes backwards and forwards.
Yeah, that's one of the things I said yesterday. As soon as I got on here, it was like, you know, can you get through? Can you tube that through there like the Americans do? You can stick your rods in there, already made up.
I'm doing it in reverse because my rods are up the front.
Yeah.
And they're coming down this side, inside.
Right.
But I want them out of sight for security.
Yeah, obviously. Yeah.
And so, as far as I'm concerned, when we're fishing, I don't want to store them out here because I can just put them in the cabin.
Fantastic. Okay, so what else?
Also, they put the 12-volt plugs on.
Ah, right.
So if at some stage when I'm getting older and all the rest of it still want to go fishing, I can have the luxury of having an electric reel.
Electric reels. Okay, so we're inside the wheelhouse now, inside the cabin, which is nice and cosy.
Exactly.
You've got everything laid out just the way you want it. You've got all your electronics there. Your electronic switches, really easily accessible around the back there.
Absolutely.
You change fuses, whatever. Really, I like the way it's decked out.
It's worth taking a photograph of the wiring in the cabin.
Yeah.
Because literally that is so neat and tidy.
Yeah.
Every end of a wire has been soldered.
That's it.
Absolutely.
Super. Well, that's, you know, we were saying earlier that the quality of build of these boats is absolutely superb, especially for the money that you're paying for them. So you've got a toilet in there.
Yep, present
Be
for
a good lady. That's one of the conditions, is it?
Yes.
You're not having a boat unless there's a toilet on it.
Full electric. Yes, full electric. I don't have a black water tank.
Right.
I didn't want a black water tank, so it's only to be used out of the harbour.
Yeah.
And because the black water tank would have been under here, but now this becomes storage, and also this has got the third battery for the electronics and so on. So it's the backup.
Super. You've got a nice little sink there.
Yep, very, very useful. The tapper's a 2 metre lead on it.
Right.
Electric again, and it's off a 45 litre cold water tank.
Right.
So there's plenty of water on there.
Yeah.
And it's actually quite nice because when you're in the summer, that's warm enough to take a shower with.
Right. Fantastic. Yeah. Nice set of speakers as well.
Very nice.
This is the bit we were talking about.
This is the Garmin, yes.
Actually, while we're here, I need to charge my phone up. So, luckily, we've both got an iPhone 5, so I'm going to plug that in.
And that ties in.
Chuck it in there.
Yep. And that with that Bluetooth to the sat nav.
So we can have tunes all day.
Absolutely.
Off the iPhone while
Absolutely.
it's charging as well.
Yeah. The radio has got AIS on it,
Yeah.
which is pretty well needed here because
Yeah.
unfortunately, the thing across from Africa, there's a lot of drug running and smuggling and
Yeah.
so on, and
Yeah.
you get stopped a lot by the
We
police.
got stopped by the police yesterday.
Going a bit too fast.
Coming down the river at 48 knots. Luckily, the guys know the police over here, so it's all right. We're not drug running, we're not gun running, we're just having a bit of fun. Excellent stuff. So, okay, we'll get some more information and we'll stick that up on the screen for you with a rough guide price and website details, etc, etc. And if you're in the market, these boats are going to start coming into the UK within the next few months.
Yep.
They're going to be starting pulling them into the UK, and I think there's a lot of boat builders over in the UK that are going to have to sit up and look at this because it's a real nice piece of kit.
Well, I've spent 4 or 5 years looking, and as soon as I see this and I went out and I was sold, as
Yeah.
you've been so impressed with the stability of it.
Absolutely. I mean, it's
Yeah.
it's phenomenal. But,
It's better than I ever thought it would be.
Yeah.
It really is, and I'm not saying that. I mean, they are friends, but I'm saying that from
Yeah.
my own personal viewpoint.
Okay, so yeah, check it out. We'll put the website up. Go and have a look, and if you're in the market for a new boat, I think you'll be mightily impressed with this.